Alright everybody, welcome back on into another match here in Beyond All Reason. This is an 8 versus 8 on Sunderance. This is a north versus south map. Let's go ahead and take a look at the team leaders. For the red team, in backline position, it is Trotsky and a Cortex Commander coming in at 35 skill. On the blue team, also in a semi-backline position, is Aeon Spy with an Armada Commander. As you can see, this map is symmetrical for the most part. There are a few differences with where geos are, but you do have these lanes of difference. So you will see a push working. It should go basically opposed to each other, and it will end up being you need to have one team get into the backline and deal economic damage before the other team can. Let's see if anybody goes for any quick harassment. Do see red is going for transports over to what? Niju and Hornet. So we're looking to get commanders up forward fast. On the other side, we get some rovers coming out for compound. Not utilizing them yet. The Nemesis is fortifying their spawn point here, which is not usually ideal. Orange already has some grunts sent forward to the front line. Now the red team is coming forward in force. 3 commanders already up to this center high ground. Going to make it very difficult to assault this area. Green avoiding that, going around with some ticks. Try and get some harassment in. Looks like it's going to get at least a mechs for his trouble. If he stops, he can get these constructors. And he's going to push forward and run into a grunt. Not ideal. Oh, just barely missing out on dealing the correct amount of damage to these structures. Inebriated Yoda lucks out on a grunt, 2 windmills. Just the ticks were pulled away before they dealt fatal damage, and could have been a decent amount more damage there. As it stands, 2 mexes went down. Faxtolgia. Do we know yet that they're up on high? They have spotted that the high ground has been claimed by the red team. Red has his commander transport again. Grunts versus grunts here, but with a commander to help out for the tan player. El Cubano needs to push up more, as the way the map is laid out, it allows for it. Do like how the orange commander is, seeing how nobody's here, is just pushing forward, taking the ground that is given. Brown player is going to do the same. Some scouting coming forward from the yellow player. Gonna catch some unguarded mexes here and maybe a constructor. Constructor citizen's arrest kills one of the ticks. It does get 2 mexes though. And they're going to get out with most of them. Overall, not a bad trade there. Got artillery coming off now, trying to assault up here. Compound gets a great D-gun off, takes out most of Yellow's forces there with the ticks and the couple pawns. Meanwhile, we got some shuriken here on the left side, helping the lockdown forces, but unfortunately paying for it with their lives. John B. Fletcher's units under assault by some Rocketeers here. And Spy also has Rocketeers and Pawns, trying to push back Chuck Snorris. I love that name. His blitzes just sitting still. He thought about repairing them, but didn't think about moving them. Ooh, and now John B. Fletcher is getting flanked by Aeon Spy. If Fax comes back forward here, John B is going to be sandwiched in between two players. I think the blue team is doing an okay job with the fact that the middle was taken so early. So they did not have map control. These pawns getting eaten alive by these incisors. Niju gets the D-gun off on that LLT. Starts reclaiming some rocks. It looks like the lime green commander here, Fax, is clearing up all this static defense on the hill. There's a shuriken, which can slow things down, but one shuriken's not going to stop that many Rocketeers. And at this point, these forward defenses are taken out. Blitz is making a run by on the left flank, taking out pawns one at a time. Blue responds with a group of pawns, which should be able to take these blitzes out. Gets us around. Does take them down. Janice getting off some shots against these Rocketeers, though. See what we have on the east side of the map. I think I misspoke and said east side over here. This is the west. I do know my east versus west, I promise. On the east side, Rocketeers coming forward, sniping off an LLT, and then backing off. Lots of bots here for both sides. I like the thugs mixed in with the aggravators. Does have a little bit of repair capability here. So many pawns for the brown commander. Compound is still trying to get up this hill. Janice taking out incisors. With thugs to back up, that's actually a nice combination, thugs and Janice. Haven't seen that one very often. Gonna lose that Wolverine to a Janice shot, and Compound doesn't really have any units to defend here. Artillery is not good for inline engagements. On the west side, we have a Dragon's Claw anchoring in Aeon Spy's position. There is artillery from Shell Shockers coming in. So unless he gets something with long range, this position does have a timer. Shuriken coming down. Gonna need some AA involved, or otherwise these Shuriken are just gonna lock down all of these forces. On the eastern side, Yellow is still pushing down from the hill. Compound doesn't have a response for this. keeps trying to use incisors and wolverines, which yellow just keeps sending Janice and pawns. Looks like he's making some shell shockers of his own. Gonna be able to go through this LLT wall that Fax is just building all the way across the map. Looks like Chuck Norris is getting tired of blue, moving in with medium tanks and Janice. Just doing little run-bys to let the Janice fire, go back, let them recharge, repair, come forward and do it again. Blue team doesn't have as much of the land. Definitely keeping up eco-wise. Not seeing any push forward here, just a lot of dancing back and forth. Do have T2 now out for Will 11. And also no air. So we have hounds out for both of those players. Not seeing any radar or jammer bots just yet. Once you get the group of hounds along with the radar and jammer bot, you're really allowed to push forward against these T1 forces. But until then, you can definitely have your hounds jumped on by medium tanks or something like that. Shuriken's gonna come down here, try and lock down these hounds. There is some fighters coming. Takes out all the shurikens. Meanwhile, the hounds on the western side have managed to push back John Fletcher's aggravator and thug combination. Now putting some pressure on the defenses of Chuck Norris. Does have a jammer up. Really need to get the radar bot and jammer bot up with this. This is all just shell shockers. Now the medium tanks and Janice come forward. Fortunately, there is a rattlesnake up here with all of this in range. I have a feeling that the response from the red team is going to be very powerful, as they do have tier 2 and they have been promulgating out the eco from it. They just haven't started massing up the units yet. We have T2 production facilities though going up over the entirety of the red team's side. Ooh, the radar bots, love those. Sheldon starting to dismantle the LLT forest that Fax put up. Scimitar's commander's in a lot of trouble here. Goes down on the right side. The hounds were given over to the blue commander, who is shifting them over. Looks like just mass pawn and rocket bot trying to come in and clean up with what's left of Chuck Norris's defenses after the hounds had weakened them. I don't think there's enough here though for the lime green commander. We're getting a lot of push from blue along the whole line across the map. It looks like red's defenses are just a little disjointed. Like, we've got Sheldon in the middle here, but not in a ball. Their power comes from being together, so you can kill off enemies before they get in range. And you now have a very concerning push on the right side here from no air. He's got welders, maces, and hounds. Got some fiends coming in to try and take care of it. See if they're able to get in on this before they get to the eco. It looks like they are able. Ooh, self-destruct takes out a lot of the hounds. Not all of them, though. We still got a welder going forward. Looks like the hounds of blue got pushed back by just a mass of thugs. Still, though, we got a welder that made it in. Oh, we might get the T2 lab here. That's going to be close. T2 lab's down. Shurikens are going to come and put an end to this. Yeah, unless fighters come and save them, these are all forfeited up here. There's no ground-based AA with this. Service going up in the middle. If this gets up, it is going to secure the entirety of this center. They're very difficult to deal with. So frustrating for the green player that their units got taken out after getting locked down by shurikens. And now with that, the red team is pushing back with this Sheldon ball, which is finally grouped up into one cohesive unit in the center. Do we have a response for it? That is the question. These hounds are just not equipped to deal with all these Sheldon. With the shurikens, it's going to be just 100% effective trade for the Sheldon. Debilitating losses there. The eco of the blue team is doing good. But it's looking like they might lose eco here to this Sheldon push. Got hounds and Sheldon coming in through here, and there is nothing to stop them at the moment. Hounds from the blue player coming over trying to intercept. Looks like they might be a little late though. Lost converters and a T2 mechs already. Build power going to go down. If Fax isn't careful, he's going to lose his commander to getting kited by these hounds. Yeah, this is... Candyman, is he going to get the D-gun off? He's in position. Beautifully done. Until he takes out his own T2 mechs. I mean, it's great that he killed off all of those, but that last one he probably could have just taken with the commander. Speaking of commander, Fax goes down here, and with it, his entire base goes down. So with that, he is effectively removed from the game, and this Sheldon ball is just continuing to push through. I think that's gonna be a nail in the coffin there with just the amount of economic damage that this is going to do coming through. Candyman's commander is cloaked, but it's getting hit. Goes down. And the economic damage is just unrelenting here as the Sheldon push through the back line. And with that, we get a good game. Blue team resigns, red team wins. A very decisive, quick rush to secure the middle ends up leading to a late game victory here. If you liked the game, please leave a like down below.
Ended.
If there's anything you'd like to see or anything I can improve, leave me a comment down in the comments section. Thank you. We'll see you again.